One of the biggest pressures young people face today in Kenya is the pressure to network. You're told, your network is your net worth. Opportunities come from people. Business happens in certain rooms. Success is about who you know. And while some of that is true, something dangerous quietly starts happening. People begin financially exhausting themselves, trying to access rooms they're not even ready to benefit from yet. Expensive coffees, events, golf, social spaces, appearance, trying to look connected, trying to look successful, trying to belong. And over time, networking slowly stops feeling like relationship building and starts feeling like performance. So where's the line? Do you actually need powerful connections to succeed in Kenya? Or are some people simply spending money trying to look like they belong in certain circles? That's what we're talking about in this video. Part 1. Why networking feels so important. In Kenya today, many people genuinely believe connections are everything. And honestly, there's some truth to that. Opportunities often come through people, referrals, introductions, relationships, proximity. Sometimes one conversation can change your career. One introduction can open a door. One relationship can completely shift your life. So naturally, people start feeling pressure to position themselves, to be seen, to be present, to be in certain spaces. And this is where the pressure begins. Because eventually, networking stops feeling optional. It starts feeling necessary for survival. Part 2. The hidden cost of being in the right rooms. Nobody talks enough about this part. Being in certain circles costs money. And sometimes, a lot of it. Events cost money. Transport costs money. Appearance costs money. Clothes cost money. Coffee meetings cost money. Socializing costs money. And now even golf has become part of the conversation. People hear, business happens on the golf course. Important people play golf. That's where connections are built. And suddenly, someone who has never cared about golf starts feeling pressure to enter that world. Not because they love it, but because they fear being left behind professionally. That's important psychologically. Because many people are no longer spending money for enjoyment. They're spending money to stay socially relevant. And over time, that becomes exhausting. Part 3. The fear of being left behind. A lot of networking pressure is actually fear. Fear that opportunities are happening elsewhere. Everyone else is progressing faster. Important people are meeting without you. Success belongs to certain circles. Proximity equals worth. So, people start forcing lifestyles they cannot comfortably sustain. Trying to keep up, trying to look connected, trying to look like they belong. And sometimes, the pressure becomes invisible. Because from the outside, it just looks like brunch, golf, events, conferences, dinners, lifestyle. But internally, someone may be under huge financial pressure trying to maintain access to those environments. And that pressure is rarely discussed honestly. Part 4. The problem with performative networking. This is where many people get stuck. Because there's a difference between building relationships and performing proximity. Some people attend every event, but build no real relationships. Some people collect contacts, but create no value. Some people desperately want access to powerful people without first becoming useful themselves. And this is the uncomfortable truth. A lot of people are trying to access powerful rooms before becoming someone those rooms actually need. That's important. Because real networks are rarely built through pretending. They're usually built through trust, consistency, competence, reputation, value, not performance. Part 5. You can network at every level. This is the part many people miss. Networking is not only for rich people. And growth does not only happen in elite rooms. At every level in life, there are people building, learning, improving, creating opportunities, sharing information, collaborating. You do not need to fake wealth to build meaningful relationships. You do not need to destroy yourself financially trying to look like you belong somewhere. You can network honestly. You can grow gradually. You can build naturally. And sometimes the most valuable relationships come from consistency, shared growth, genuine collaboration, helping people, being reliable, not expensive appearances. Part 6. The Kenyan social reality. In Kenya, social positioning matters a lot. People care about where you're seen, who you know, where you hang out, which circles you belong to. And because of that, many ambitious people quietly feel pressure to constantly level up socially, to look more connected, more successful, more important. But there's a dangerous point where networking turns into social anxiety, where someone is no longer building relationships, they're trying to prove they belong. And that is financially dangerous. Because once networking becomes performance, the spending never ends. There will always be another event, another circle, another expectation, another standard to maintain, and eventually, someone can spend years trying to look connected instead of becoming valuable enough to naturally attract opportunities. Part 7. What real networking actually looks like. Real networking is usually quieter than people think. It's being competent, showing up consistently, creating value, building trust, helping people, learning, improving yourself, becoming reliable, because valuable people naturally attract stronger networks over time. And ironically, the people trying hardest to look connected are often the people with the weakest real relationships, while the people quietly building themselves often end up attracting the best opportunities naturally. There's nothing wrong with wanting better opportunities. There's nothing wrong with ambition. And there's nothing wrong with building relationships intentionally. But it becomes dangerous when networking turns into another form of performance. Because eventually, some people stop building their future and start financially exhausting themselves, trying to look like they belong in successful spaces. The truth is, you do not need to fake wealth to build meaningful connections. You do not need to perform success to deserve opportunity. And sometimes the smartest thing a person can do is stop chasing rooms they cannot sustain yet and focus on becoming someone valuable enough that opportunities begin coming naturally. This channel explores the psychology of money, wealth, and financial behavior in Kenya. If you enjoy conversations like this, subscribe for more weekly videos.